Stand by. The program will begin soon. I don't know why I'm talking about this. During World War II, we sent 90 million pounds of spam just to the Russians alone. I mean, we sent it all over the world. Our troops, especially in the Pacific Theater, ate it. That was basically what they ate all the time. 90 million pounds to the Russians. Apparently in like the 50s, Nikita Khrushchev said, you know, if they hadn't sent us all this spam, they might not have been able to feed their troops during World War II. So a little weird canned kind of ham pork product, canned meat, may have won World War II. And the Fed is trending on X. And I wasn't sure why, and I'm still not 100% sure why, although part of it is because of this building that they're renovating. They're supposed to be renovating one of the buildings at the Fed, right? And the other day, Donald Trump came out there with Jerome Powell, and they're talking about how the renovation of the building was kind of a little bit over budget, okay? First of all, the numbers on this are crazy. They wanted $2.something billion to renovate a building at the Fed. $2.1 billion. Well, this is $2.5 billion. But they're over budget by over $1 billion for one building. They're over budget over $1 billion for one building. $1 billion friggin' dollars for one building. This isn't even for building a new building. It's for renovating a building. What the actual F are they doing? If after a night of filling your rectum with vodka from a turkey baster, the cops find you changing a flat in the cereal aisle of a Piggly Wiggly and ask how much you've had to drink, and you say nothing, are you lying? Well, no. Now, if they had been asking, have you been injecting? You'd have to say yes, but they said, have you been drinking? Well, no, absolutely. Yeah, Lord Stanhope, absolutely not. In fact, you all can try to answer these questions. Stand by. The program will begin soon. A WNBA game got stopped in the middle of the game because one of the players lost their wig while they're playing, and they had to run off. And then some fan made fun of the player, and they had to run. And they kicked the fan out for making fun of a player losing the weave. Not a weave, it was a wig. Losing their wig. They had to have a timeout for the wig, a wig emergency. Which I'm like, why the F are you wearing a wig while you're playing basketball? But then yesterday, or I believe it was yesterday, a game had to be stopped briefly because someone threw a big old green dildo on the floor. Someone threw a dildo out on the floor, out of the court. They had to stop the game. I don't know if they caught the person who sent the dildo, but the green dildo was on the court, and a good large number of the players had no idea what to do with something of that shape, but that's okay. It happened, and then someone made this t-shirt or this meme, pay us what you owe us, which has a dildo on it. So that was fun. Hey, you know what the really good interrupt violence through community-based bystander training? Yeah, if the bystanders beat the fuck out of someone who's attacking somebody else, that would be great bystander training. They could send them to the MMA gym, you know, put them in an arm bar, smack them in the face a few times. Stop doing that bullshit. That would be the best community-based bystander training, but I don't think that's what he means. Anyway. And then the other one, they'll go back all the way to Dylan Roof. Dylan Roof's the other one, which, does anyone, okay, let me ask you something. A lot of you are right-leaning on the right. Is there anybody in this that you, anyone you know of? Is there anyone that you know of on the right who supports or supported Dylan Roof? Because I know everyone I can think of who's like, Dylan Roof, fuck that guy. He went out and murdered people in a church. Fuck that guy. But the left is like, oh, he was a right-wing extremist. Nah, he's a fucking asshole. Fuck that guy. Yeah, fuck Dylan Roof. Nobody gives a shit about Dylan Roof. Nobody claims him. Nobody wants him. He's an asshole. Okay? He's a little punk bitch asshole who killed a bunch of people in the church. Stand by. The program will begin soon. Reverend Robin Bartlett of First Church of Sterling, Massachusetts, uses John 1:14 of the Bible to justify why she brings her 11-year-old son to drag shows. This is what we're getting in the Rainbow Church. The Rainbow Church aren't exactly hiding. That's true. The Word became flesh and lived among us, and my body, your body, their bodies are home for the living God. That is why I take my 11-year-old boy to drag shows in the summer with my friend and fellow church leaders, Kate, and her 11-year-old boy. Especially if you're a man, bodies can be celebrated and played with. That's her message. What the fuck? California wants to let someone that is not related to your child remove her from school, him or her, enroll her in any other school in the state, authorize any medical treatment, including mental health services and drugs, without the parent's notice and knowledge or consent. Can you see where that might be a problem? This is not fear-mongering. I'm not being hyperbolic, she warned. These are unintended consequences, and it is terrifying. They are unconscionable or unavoidable. So that's one really bad California law that they're coming with. I can't believe. I'm just dumbfounded that they're doing it. Now this is interesting. That new mayor candidate, the leading Democratic mayor candidate for New York City mayor, Damme, wants cops to stop responding to attacks on Jews. And by the way, Jews in the New York City are victims of the majority of hate crimes, not a plurality, but the majority of hate crimes against people in New York are against Jewish people. And you know, especially religious hate crimes. Anyway, 345 hate crimes in New York City last year, more than all other minority groups combined, according to the New York Police Department data. Anti-Jewish crimes accounted for 54% of the 641 total hate crimes reported to police in the city in 2024. Since the beginning of the year, 60% of the 123 recorded hate crimes have targeted Jews, according to the New York Police Department. Well, Zohran Mamdani, the radical Islamist and leftist terrorist supporter, has proposed that New York Police Department not respond to hate crimes, instead that they be handled by social workers. Other, this shifts resources away from responding to attacks on Jews and moves away from having law enforcement deal with those attacks, and instead has his political leftist allies deal with them by burying them. The show every day on my show, if I put something on the screen or I'm talking about it, or it's a topic or an article that I'm presenting in this show, I provide links to every single thing that I've talked about, and even more, the ones I didn't even get to. I drop them in the chat at the end of the show, and also I drop them in the description. So if you want to find these articles, they will be in the links at the end of the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only Dawg Knight.
Yeah, I am here. I'm having a little difficulty though. Give me a second. I'll put my face on the screen soon. Cancel that. Close that. And there I am. Hey, what's up? Oh, that's the countdown. What the hell is that doing up there? Well, let's try this right now. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as PDawgKnight on the internet. And welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel, where I don't know what I am. I'm just here trying to... Wrong thumbnail? What do you mean wrong thumbnail? That's the right thumbnail. Where do you see the wrong thumbnail? What are you talking about? Isn't that today's thumbnail? You decide? That's it, right? Marty was not in America, and before America was America, how did he not make it yet? What are you talking about? Oh, no, I fixed it. That was something else. That was... Anyway, hi. How you doing? Happy Wednesday hump day. I was going to just say, hey, y'all pick some topics to talk about, and I'll find them, and we'll figure it out. But I have a handful open, to be honest with you, so we'll see what happens. But if you wanted something you want to talk about, just put it in the chat. I'll try to pay attention. I'm not throwing up a Q&A or a poll or anything, just whatever. Share the stream because this is going to be a great one. Anyway, let's say hi to everybody and get it started because I just need to get it going. First in chat today, Trash Talker in Chief, Mr. Half-Goddess Diablo gets the bell. Not even close. Whoever's second, LOL. Wow, that's rough. Kara Soldier was kind of close, but I guess not as close as you thought. She got knocked down three before he even got there. So there you go. Also, good morning, Kara Soldier. Of course, Mike Savage, Blarg. Good morning. The Pope's here with the message of hope. Pope Tyrannus III, the Blessed Lich, says, blessing of the merciful dead. The sun has risen, dawn has come, and we get to experience it together. Yes, let's appreciate every sunrise because you never know when they will be gone. Well, not for the sun, but for us. So, Dom O'Leary's in the house. What's up? Nice to see you. 1 hour sleep last night. Oh my gosh. So now we'll catch up later. Okay, we'll get some sleep. Good morning. Also, Blue-Eyed Scream. Resolute Germ, what's up? Good morning, Cashel. What up, Kirsten? And Lord Stanhope's in the house. Louie is here. Good morning, Septus Wolf. 2 days in a row. Good. And Willie is in the chat. So there we go. That's what we have so far. Hit the like button, share the stream. Only 17 people here, but only 3 likes is even worse. So do both. Just hit the like button and share the stream. Hit the like button helps the algorithm send it out to more people. So that's how it works. Let's see. So anyway, so let's get into some stuff. Also, if you want to sponsor the show, Johnny Boomer Tech will be putting up the link to the Streamlabs link. That's the best place to share to support the show. Keeps the lights on and the internet connected. Or you can do super chats. It's cool too. I'm not that particular. Prefer the Streamlabs just because I can control it better and they don't take as much money from me. They don't take as much of your money. That's the other thing. You're donating, giving tips to me, I should get most of it. So anyway, and the best way actually on Streamlabs, if you can do it by use the Stripe or whatever credit card thing, they take less out of there too. All right, those cheerleaders are enough for me to not like this stream. Well, yeah, that's one of the topics today. And I remind you that I was a college cheerleader back in the day. So, but there's something different about that. And I'll tell you in a minute because I have opinions. I have opinions about it. Who knows if those opinions will be to your liking though? I'm just saying. We'll see. But again, what are we talking about, people? What are we talking about today? If you got anything that you want to talk about, please let me know in the chat. I'll try to pay attention. Good morning, Green Badger Outdoors. What's up? Speaking of which, oh my gosh, Gunfox dropping articles left and right too on the old X, formerly known as Twitter. Let's see, where the hell is there we go. People sharing the stream, or at least giving me a let's go, like it says on the top of the chat. First here we got JB with a what is this? If you were me, you'd be good looking. Oh, that's a funny line. That's a funny line. Let's go. That's I like that. I didn't see that one. That's it. That boy, I'll tell you. If someone ever says that to me, if I were you, I would say, if you were me, you'd be better looking. Or good looking or something. Well, better, because I'm not all that great looking. I'm just okay. Also, Resolute Germ, Daily Wrestler, thank you with the let's go. And then we got the second let's go from JB with the same message. I'm going to repost it twice. I don't care. I'm not shy. Also, thanks, Ty Alexander. Kirsten Schull, K. Schull, what's up? JB. Message. Who the hell's message? If I reposted you, like and subscribe. Well, you're the only one you have one follower and 0 following. Oh my God. I wonder, should we go check out that account? I'm wondering, oh, I hit Resolute Germ there. What? Wait a minute. Where's that? What happened to it? Oh, it was this guy who shared or the stream or reposted the stream, but you have one follower. No one's going to even see it. What are you talking about? Good God. Anyway. And tired with the daily Ric Flair. Woo! Did I do that right? Woo! Anyway, also, in Gunfox, just several articles, defense news and U.S. news and European news. I'll come to some of those because you know what? You had the gumption to let me know that there's some stuff on the internet that I need to see, so we'll check out some of those too. No Hamilton's necessary. Good morning to. I could have sworn I just saw Hoko Sports. I guess I didn't. JB's in the house. But were you here earlier? No, you just got here. All right, hey JB, what's up? All right, let's get into it because it's Hump Day, and I'm oh my God, I'm starting super late today. This is cute. Happy Hump Day. This is might be my favorite theme of the day. This is called open carry, and that is called concealed carry. Get it? Now what is this? Okay, that's safe. Some girl putting that up for Hump Day. Steffi. And then here we go. Bootsy Collins. Is that the real Bootsy Collins? Who wrote this? Start your happy hump day today. Every moment that you spend creates your track record for the future. Get up off of that thing. Everything is on the one. Don't fake the funk. Bootsy baby. So yeah, Bootsy Collins, legendary bass player. Oh, I can't show that one. there's some. Hang on. I can't. I'm gonna have to skip that. Because that you can't put that. Oh, another one. My God. Okay, I you can scroll on the Hump Day link later if you really need to have that sort of thing happening. The Happy Hump Day link. Interestingly enough, it's all me. I like every one is a part of my former later Hump Day stream. So never mind. Today also for holiday wise though. Today is National Filet Mignon Day. Oh my goodness. Now I did when for Lady Boomer's birthday, we go up to the cabin and I do some steaks on the grill. And I actually bought filet mignons this year because the ones they were cheaper than the ribeyes this time for some reason at Sam's Club. They had the prime filet mignon. It cost the same as the regular filet mignon, and all of them cost less than the ribeyes. I'm like, when does that ever happen? So I did filet mignons this year. They were tasty, nice medium rare finish, and I did them on a grill, which is normally you don't do filet mignon on a grill, but because I am a master of all things charcoal and gas. I made some very nice filet mignons for my wife's birthday. But yeah, so it's National Filet Mignon Day. Treat yourself to a tender, buttery steak. Sear in a hot skillet. Finish in the oven and top with a garlic herb butter. Add roasted veggies and a crisp salad. How do you like yours cooked? There's the question of the day. There's Hokel Sports. I knew I saw you. Or I said it too soon. And Tyler F and TC are in the house too. Hey, here's my question. And you can just type it in the chat. How do you like your steak done? I am a medium rare guy. Even with a filet mignon, I like a medium rare. Although it's tricky because with the filet mignon, they're usually taller than they are round, and so it's tough to get that. You almost have to finish them in an oven, or you do the grill. Here, if you're gonna do filet mignon in the grill, by the way, here's my recommendation: only put heat on one side of the grill. Okay, like if you've got coals or you got a gas grill, whatever. Only put the coals all on one side of the grill, or turn the gas on only one half of the grill. Do your sear, get your nice grill marks on both sides, probably for about 2 minutes on each side. If it's a thick filet mignon, 2 minutes both sides. Turn it halfway through that minute so you get nice, good old grill marks. And then take that filet mignon and then put it over on the other side of the grill and shut that thing. Okay? And let it cook like that. So it's simulating doing like searing and finishing in an oven. And make sure you temp it. Okay, I use I have this little cheap remote control temp thing that you can. It's wired, but you stick it in. You'd have the thing sitting outside the grill, and make sure you follow that, and then just get it to the temperature you like. So anyway, rare or medium rare? Okay, medium. Lots of medium rares. Good. You are not heathens. You're none of them well done heathens. If you eat steak well done, you're a heathen. I'm just playing. Some people like them well. But anyway, I like mine medium well done, or as most people call it, ruined. Well, I wouldn't say ruined. You're just a heathen. So anyway, all right. So happy filet mignon day. What else? Oh, other holiday. Now this is another day that's light on holidays. It's also National Rap Day. Crank up the beats and let your rhymes flow. On National Rap Day. Never heard of that one. International Left-Handers Day. Any left-handed people in here? Any of you, what do they call them? Witches? I'm wondering. National Filet Mignon Day and Oban Festival, which probably has something to do with noodles. I have no idea. So those are your holidays of the day. I don't have a celebrity birthday, unfortunately. But, oh God, there's that again. I'm already into the few news articles that I'm ready to talk about. So here's a few things that were on X, the app formerly known as Twitter, that I'm going to talk about real quick. One is in the thumbnail, and it's regarding the Minnesota Vikings. Yes, my home state, well, my home state of 30. How long have I lived here? 1989. I lived here. I've lived here 32 years. 30. Oh no! Holy shit! 36 years. I've been in Minnesota 36 years. So the Vikings are the team that I am around the most. Their headquarters are in my little town here, and they practice here and they're doing whatever. And by the way, the Minnesota Vikings, I think is like up since the Super Bowl era. The Vikings, I think, are fourth on the most wins list, but it's the only team in like the top dozen that hasn't won a Super Bowl. It's kind of wild. So anyway, there's a controversy in Minnesota right now. Well, I don't know if it's a controversy in Minnesota so much. It maybe kind of, sort of, but not so much. But anyway, the Minnesota Vikings have decided to add male cheerleaders to their mix of cheerleaders at the Vikings Stadium. Now, I personally was also a male cheerleader back in college, back in the I know, Stone Age, there, tire. But anyway, I was a male college cheerleader. But, when I was a male college cheerleader, especially in college cheerleading, the guys are the guys who throw the girls up in the air and catch them and all this stuff and do the stunts and usually just have a megaphone and yell. We're not out there dancing and whatever and pantsing around. We're just out there, trying to get the crowd going. Cheerleaders, get people yelling. And so when I saw this, I'm like, well, why is this a controversy? Why is it a controversy? Yeah, George W. Bush was a cheerleader in college. A lot of people were cheerleaders in college. It's a fun, and guess what? Look, for those of you who don't understand, certain aspects of college cheerleading, a heterosexual male college cheerleader back in the day, that was a pretty cool thing to be, because you're around a lot of nice looking young ladies and you have fun and whatever. And plus, cheerleaders party like a motherfucker. It's amazing how cheerleaders party. You want to get around a bunch of people who are having fun, it's cheerleaders, okay? And plus, I taught cheerleading camps during the summer. So I spent my summers traveling around the country from whatever camp to camp, teaching cheerleaders how to be good cheerleaders. And the best camps when you're a college cheerleader and you're in college, but you're also teaching cheerleading camps in the summer, are college cheerleading camps, because you're around 1,200 college cheerleaders. Most of them, a majority, not all, but the majority are nice-looking young ladies, and they have fun. So it's cool to be a college cheerleader. But anyway, I digress. Here's the controversy in Minnesota. Minnesota Vikings introduces male cheerleaders amid fan controversy. The Minnesota Vikings have made headlines by adding Blaze Shake and Louis Kahn to their cheerleading squad for the 2025-26 NFL season, replacing 2 female members. Now, that alone is, by the way, these are men who identify as men. Yes. But they just took 2 women's jobs. This move has not only stirred a significant online debate, but also led some fans to expressing their discontent with threats of boycotts and cancellations of season tickets. Why? I'm going to give you my opinion in a second. Critics argue that the shift challenges traditional gender roles in cheerleading, while supporters celebrate the move as a step towards gender inclusivity, or greater inclusivity, pointing out that male cheerleaders have been a part of the sport's history. The controversy underscores a broader discussion on the evolution of sports entertainment, where the Vikings' decision reflects a progressive shift, albeit one met with resistance from a vocal segment of their fan base. So the fans in Minnesota, a lot of them are mad because, they just, look, I'm in the category of I don't give a shit. Honestly, now, the problem, too, but here, these are not like, also, by the way, these are not like your traditional male cheerleaders. Because, look, cheerleading for men, usually men, you're out there, masculine dudes, whatever. But, and college cheerleading is more cheering and whatever, not so much dancing. And you have dance teams to do what the NFL cheerleaders do, okay? So, technically, the NFL cheerleaders are not cheerleaders. They're dance teams. They just out there dancing, entertainment, looking pretty, doing this and that, and looking all smoking hot and stuff for the male fans of a sport where a lot of fans are probably not the most gay-friendly people, but whatever. But there's a lot of gay people who love football, so I can't even say that. But anyway, unfortunately, I don't say fortunately, unfortunately, these male cheerleaders, here's how they were introduced. And I'm going to have to mute this because the music's probably copyrighted, although I probably have a copyright strike already. This is how they're introduced. This is the young men who are cheerleading for the Minnesota Vikings cheerleaders, which is essentially a female dance team. And here we go. Here's without the music. So they said, wait, where are the boys? Now, I by the way, I can't imagine the 2 women who lost their jobs to this probably are going, what the fuck is this? Anyway, here's how they introduced them. Okay, so let's dance out and prance like, coming off as gay, basically, which is fine. I don't care if that. I don't give a shit about that. But it's just like, first of all, I don't go to football games to watch the cheerleaders anyway. And so I can see, even if I said, I hate that. Did you buy season tickets to go watch the cheerleaders? Yeah, NFL gone woke, go broke. But some people are just going to be, there are going to be people who just are really like, why are you pushing this constantly? Why are we constantly pushing this? But on the other hand, I'm like, if the Minnesota Vikings want to do this, I just won't. I just don't care. So my high school had cheerleaders and a pom squad that was more dance oriented. You had both though. So anyway, I don't know. Hello, Miss Wild Wolf. What's up? Working while watching you live. Well, thank you. Thank you for being here. So, it's controversy. Now, I'm gonna scroll down this topic, and we're gonna see some of the reactions just online. This guy says, "I've been a Viking fan all my life. Sigh. I need a new team now." That's Kevin Sorbo. You know, I don't watch the Vikings for the cheerleaders. In fact, I think the NFL cheerleaders are pretty late. By the way, this is not the only NFL team that has male cheerleaders. Baltimore has traditional male cheerleaders who do stunts and they actually cheer and try to get the crowd going and whatnot. And I think there's one team that has a male cheerleader who's, I don't know if the person is transgender or trans, whatever, trans identifying male that's, you know, being female, whatever. But basically, for all practical purposes, is female. Like not female, but, you know, acts like they're female. So anyway, but it's, but then you got people like Gunther here. Men should not be cheerleaders. Someone has to say it. Gunther, do you know how many male college cheerleaders there are in the country? Lots of them. They're big old strong burly dudes that throw women up in the air and catch them with one hand above their head and stuff like that. That's the kind of cheerleader I was. That was fun as hell, and I never regret it. And also guess what? Even then, some of the guys that were cheerleaders back when I was in college, some of them, they were gay too. But most of them were also big old strong burly gay guys that were throwing girls in the air and catching them with one hand up in the air. There wasn't a whole lot of like dance squad stuff that the guys did. In fact, it was kind of discouraged because most college fans probably ain't into that. So, but even in this case, unless you spend your whole time watching the cheerleaders at an NFL football game, I don't care. Anyway, someone down here, breaking. The Minnesota Vikings under major backlash after the team hires a male as their lead cheerleader for the 2025-26 NFL season. I didn't even know that they're making him the lead cheerleader. You know, Minnesota has pretty big gay population. Somebody probably digs this too. So I just think it's too much great. Now this guy though, look, this guy, at least he does some athletic shit. That's cool. But I, you know, the dance moves are not traditional male dance stuff, but whatever. So anyway, too much. I've talked too much about this. Let's move on. Moving on. And we talked about DC yesterday, the Trump administration. Oh, wait, let's skip that. Let's come back to that. Let's do this one later. Hang on. Oh my God. I forgot about this. Here's 3 of the topics that were prominent in X when I went to the Explore tab today. One of them, the Trump administration is going to be enforcing a new homeless policy in the District of Columbia. Here's the blurb that Grok put together. The Trump administration announced plans to address homelessness in Washington, D.C. by enforcing existing laws that offer homeless individuals shelter or treatment services with the threat of fines or jail time for those who refuse. This initiative includes deploying the National Guard and increased policing amid debates over its impact on crime and public safety. While the city's violent crime has dropped to a 30-year low, some officials and citizens argue for a stronger focus on law enforcement due to remaining violent incidents. Now, so here's, apparently Jeanine Pirro went out and talked about this, Judge Jeanine or whatever her name is. Here's her hot take on it. U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro briefs reporters on the federal takeover by D.C. police.
To gun violence prevention programs.
Oh, stop it. We are putting all kinds of resources onto the street.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Press release hailing the drop in crime rates at the end of it. What changed?
It's never enough. This changed. It's never enough. You tell these families crime has dropped. You tell the mother of the intern who was shot going out from McDonald's near the Washington Convention Center, oh, crime is down. You tell the kid who was just beat the hell and back with a severe concussion and a broken nose, crime is down. No, that falls on deaf ears. And my ears are deaf to that. And that's why I fight the fight. Thank you.
Okay, well, she's out there. That has nothing to do with the question about the homeless part. But now there's people here. This is what some people are saying. Holy shit, the White House will force homeless into shelters or treatment. Refuse, you face fines or jail time. The government deciding where you live, what treatment you get, and locking you up if you say no. That's the that's the law in DC. That's the local law. Now, and the other part too is, one of the things that people are screaming is that, well, you're going to go to jail for being homeless. They're going to make being homeless criminal. Isn't shelter the problem with homeless people? Maybe not. I don't know. Look, I don't know that you want to criminalize homelessness, but do you want people to get help? And I don't know. It's like, how, if that's your concern, oh, they're making homelessness illegal. Well, then what's your solution? I keep seeing posts about people saying, oh, well, people should just get homes for free. There's lots of homes. People are hoarding wealth, and you could take $20 billion out of the defense budget and put it into homelessness, and you'd solve the homelessness problem. Well, no, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. Look, there's been an interesting shift, by the way. There's always been, as far as trackable homeless people in the United States of America, it's always hovered around 600,000 or 700,000 people. But what's interesting in the last 10 years, and I read an article on this a while back, and so you may remember this. The shift has been, though, while there's still about that same amount of people, a much larger percentage of those people are now in California and also in Oregon and Washington State. And part of that is because the homeless tend to go where they can get the best stuff, but still live where they in the streets. And so the idea that if you just throw money at it, it'll be solved. Well, California has tried to do that. And unfortunately, the money that they've been throwing at it has been going to governmental organizations that seem to go through the money but never solve any homeless problems. For example, they bought one giant complex. Apparently, in this one NGO bought this giant complex, was supposedly renovating it so they could have homeless people live in it. And the renovation stopped and the money was gone. Well, I thought you were solving homelessness by throwing money at it. No, people just ran off the money. So I don't know what the solution is, but look, if you say that if you're offering people shelter and you're offering people treatment, wouldn't that solve the homeless problem? So you don't want to solve the homeless problem. You want to just use it as a cudgel. Thank you, Ty Alexander. You are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Dropping $2.30 in the tip jar saying, do you remember the scene in Tombstone where Wyatt Earp screams, there's a new sheriff in town. Tell him I'm coming and hell's coming with me. Well, Janine is the new sheriff in town, and she came to clean shit up and chew gum, and she ran out of gum years ago. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Tyre. Appreciate that. Yeah. people, if you do you want the problem to persist or you want to solve the problem? And like, it's like, you can be gentle about it or you can make people do stuff. And I don't know, man, it's, boy, it's really tough. It's a tough decision, but someone here, I'm in tears. This patriot is saluting the National Guard in front of the Washington Monument. Chills. Oh, this guy's out here, he's out here, saluting the guys as they go by. So, I don't know, man. I don't know if throwing the National Guard into D.C. is the thing to do, but what do you do? Here, Harmie Dillon, a malortous homeless person, attempted to swipe my phone today while I was walking in D.C. back to the DOJ from an appointment, but he was not in his right mind, and I artfully dodged the attempt. It'll be a while till things feel safe in the city, so everyone stay alert. Matt Walsh, holy shit, the White House will force homeless into shelters or treatment. Refuse, you face fines or jail time. Matt Walsh, wow, so they won't let cracked out vagrants set up campsites and drug dens in the middle of the sidewalk. They want DC to be actually civilized community with not a refugee camp with mentally ill drug addicts shitting in the streets. Wow, that's so horrible. Wow, I'm so shocked. Yeah, let's see. By the way, Gene Shapiro does have an op-ed in the Washington Post, the fight to make D.C. safe and beautiful. I'm not going to go through it, but anyway. Another headline that was in the top topics today, Trump is reviewing Smithsonian. Now, again, remember, the wording of this is usually Grok aggregating what people are saying, so this headline is not necessarily what it is. Trump reviews Smithsonian to reflect his view of history. Trump administration has initiated a review of Smithsonian museums, particularly focused on ensuring exhibits reflect Trump's interpretation of American history. This review is part of a preparedness for the upcoming 250th anniversary of the United States. Critics, including notable artists like those from Hamilton, have voiced opposition, seeing it as an overreach into cultural institutions, while the administration aims to highlight what it describes as American exceptionalism. And again, I don't know if their definition of American exceptionalism is the same as mine. To me, American exceptionalism are the things that makes us an exception to what happens in the rest of the world. For example, free speech is big time an exception in the way we believe in it, practice it, and whatnot. So that's what's exceptional about America. It's something that's different than the rest of the world. Also, the fact that you're upward endowed mobility, whether it's regard to economic status, is often an exception. If you're born in some countries and you're a tradesman or you're an electrician, and your dad was an electrician, you end up going into trades and electricians too. It's different here. People can be very upwardly mobile or sometimes downwardly mobile. You can be born a billionaire and die broke too. So anyway, hello Shrapnel, hello. Somebody else showed up. Unacceptable views on my other favorite Canadian. So anyway, but this one though, is it to reflect his view of American history? I mean, some people say it. So fact post, Trump administration plans to review all exhibits and materials. Oh, it's funny though. Now, notice the first post below this. Now this is the Smithsonian. That's what they're doing. Okay. And I don't know why they're doing it. It doesn't make sense to me. But little twist on this topic, something called fact post, which this is just posting facts. The Trump administration plans to review all exhibits and materials from the National Museum of African American History to ensure they align with Trump's interpretation of American history. Now, wait a minute. I thought it was the Smithsonian. Here we go. Someone says, holy shit, the White House just sent a letter to the Smithsonian notifying them that there will be a comprehensive internal review of their entire operation, including inspection of their collections. This comes a day after Trump took federal control of D.C. Now, here's the letter As we prepare now, here's a letter that he sent. Now, again, this is one of those things. Let me just read the letter. As we prepare to celebrate the 250th anniversary of our nation's founding, it is more important than ever that our national museums reflect the unity, progress, and enduring values that define the American story. In this spirit, and in accordance with the Executive Order 14253, restoring truth and sanity to American history, we will be... Why is that thing? I don't want this. I don't want that here. Hang on. Let me fix this. I already know how these buttons work. Hang on. We will be leading a comprehensive internal review of selected Smithsonian museums and exhibitions. This initiative aims to ensure alignment with the President's directive to celebrate American exceptionalism, remove divisive or partisan narratives, and restore confidence in our shared cultural institutions. This review is a construction and collaborative effort, one rooted in respect for the Smithsonian's vital mission and its extraordinary contributions. Our goal is not to interfere with day-to-day operations of curators or staff, but rather support a broader vision of excellence that highlights historically accurate, uplifting, and inclusive portrayals of American heritage. Look, when they say it. Okay, here it is. And then are there tunnels between the Smithsonian? What is that? Why is that in there? Okay. Anyway, there's some extra stuff in this post. I don't know what the goal here is. I mean, I don't know why meddle with the Smithsonian. The Smithsonian does what it does. Now, it just depends. For example, all the lefties are pissed off, though. The White House will now be vetting Smithsonian museums to ensure their exhibits comply with Trump's vision and interpretation of history. Observe the timeline. Yesterday, Trump takes over the control of D.C. police for 30 days, deploys the National Guard to secure D.C. Secretary of Defense has unnamed specialized military units on standby. Today, Trump notifies the Smithsonian he will be reviewing all their collections. This means that Trump will have access to the Smithsonian tunnels beneath the National Mall Wait, Trump will? Yeah, I'm sure he's going to be walking around himself through all the tunnels. Tunnels beneath the National Mall, while he just so happens to have military presence and full control of D.C. These tunnels could be used to mask the movements of troops, perps, equipments, etc. Holy fuck. You know how many they don't have, they're not, the National Guard is not controlling all of DC. I think they deployed 1,400 people. Siri, how many people live in Washington, D.C.?
As of 2020, the population of Washington, D.C. was 689,545.
So that's just the Washington, D.C. proper. 689,545 people, right? How exactly are 1,400? I don't even think it's 1,400. However many National Guard, it's less than 1,000 or less than 2,000. And about 400 federal agents. How is that occupying Washington, D.C.? This guy says, I find the timing of Trump conducting a comprehensive internal review of the Smithsonian museums to be a little suspicious, to say the least. Well, how the tunnel system in the Smithsonian and beneath the National Mall, well, nobody lives there. Nobody lives in that area. So troop movements in that area mean nothing. I just don't get it. Thank you, Avocados Diablo, dropping a small bowl in the tip jar, and appreciate you there. I'll give you one of these. Avocados Diablo says, inspecting their collection is not as insidious as it seems. It would also include things they have that they do not show to the public, as well as things that they do show. It could wind up just resulting in things that are kept in storage being made public. Yeah, exactly. I didn't mean that. That's exactly right. I mean, it just, they're preparing for the 250th anniversary. It's they want to make everything he does just, some form of evil, that he's just trying to destroy, people. I don't know. It's so funny though that this fact post that people are referring to changed it from the Smithsonian to the Museum of African American History, because that's part of the Smithsonian, but they focus on that. Why? Well, because they want to fearmonger. He's gonna strip away Black history from the Smithsonian. So I don't know. Very annoying. Moving on. I'm running out of time here. And I just think I don't know if it's even necessary. I would just tell the Smithsonian, hey, we're getting ready for the 250th anniversary of the United States. Act accordingly and see what they do. But whatever. All right. In some of the other crack pipe stuff that I saw on the internet this morning, Ed Krasenstein, the Daily Krasenstein, posted this, and I found it a little bit humorous, so I thought I'd show it to you. He says, breaking. A train carrying hazardous materials has derailed in Palo Pinto County, Texas. 35 cars off the tracks, some tankers leaking, grass fires burning, hazmat teams rushing in. When East Palestine, Ohio faced a similar disaster under Biden, Republicans made it a national talking point and demanded presidential visits. So will Donald Trump show up in Palo Pinto now that he's president, or was that all just outraged political theater? A short answer there, Ed? Probably not, but let's keep it simple. The train that derailed in Palestine, Ohio, East Palestine, Ohio, was in a residential area that required hundreds, maybe thousands of people to be evacuated because of toxic fumes that were spewing out from these trains. Now, if you look at the train that Ed is showing here, yes, there's some smoke, there's some whatever, but notice that this is in a very remote area where there's no residential area nearby. See any residential area nearby? And look, these tanker cars, I don't know if there's any hazard material. There's not a whole lot of smoke going on. The smoke over here, that's from something, looks like it's burning, a brush fire. So what the actual fuck are you talking about, Ed? I'm just saying, the Krasensteins are the kings of the whatabouts. What about this? Why would Donald Trump not go here? Because there's no people who fucking live there, Ed. It's in the middle of nowhere in the county. Moron. Sorry, did I get a little heated there? All right. Let's go back to notifications here. There's more notifications. Thank you, by the way, to more people who have shared the show. Somnambull Nation, aka Lincoln Description, and TC. Thank you for sharing the show. Greatly appreciated. All right. And there's lots of people did that too. So all right, cool. Let's move on. Anything y'all want to talk about, by the way? I really didn't pay attention that well. What was the cause of the derailment, though? I don't know. Probably, it's, who knows? Probably a bad track or something. East Palestine was caused by neglect of the track. Is that what caused this one? Don't know. We haven't even got enough information, but we do know that it's not in a residential area. There are not toxic fumes spewing everywhere. And, it's like Ed sees something like, he's like, remember early in the year when there was the one plane crash, right? And then all of a sudden every plane crash was Trump's fault. When that first plane crash, first of all, it had nothing to do with Trump. And second of all, it didn't have anything to do with the Secretary of Transportation because he had just literally been sworn in that day. And everything that was going on that early in Trump administration was left over from the Biden administration. So if you want to blame somebody, blame the Biden administration. But I wouldn't even do that. I blame the person who was the pilots and whatnot. Particularly the one who wasn't listening to her instruction that well and getting all frustrated because he told her to do something, and then she all of a sudden, boom, crash. So whatever. And it's pilot error, and it happens. This case has really nothing to do with Donald Trump at all, and it's not even similar in situations. Siri, how many train derailments are there in the United States average per year?
Okay. I found this on the web for how many trains are there in the United States on average per year.
No, never mind. I don't care. I'll figure it out later. I'm assuming there's at least 1 or 2 derailments a month around the United States that you just don't hear about. And I don't think the president has to run to any single one. Lots of things can cause derailment, most of which are not controllable. If it was a foreseeable accident, that would be different. Yeah, it's the same thing. Crasses are they're the kings of gaslighting too. They are. They really are. Boy, they forget everything that their side does, and they'll try to tell you that you did something that you never even said. So anyway, a couple of articles that I have open here. One is this one. Poll, Democratic Party favorability falls to a record low. The Democratic Party's favorability rating has dropped to 34%, the lowest level ever recorded in Gallup's trend since the survey began tracking the measure in 1992. A new Gallup survey shows Americans' favorable view of the Democratic Party has fallen to 34%, marking, okay, that's the same line. They wrote it 3 times. They put it in the headline, they put it in this sub-headline, and then the third line is the same freaking line. I hate when they do that. Some of you already know that I hate when they do that. Gallup's historical trend data shows Democratic Party favorability generally ranged between the high 40s to around 60% through the 90s and early 2000s. The measure has since trended lower, with notable drops in the mid-2010s and early 2020s, falling from about 54% in the early 1990s to 34% today. The new numbers come amid a series of other national polls showing Democrats facing challenges with key voting blocks and on major policy issues. Yeah, in other words, they suck. I think they all suck. I hate everyone in government right now because they're just all terrible. I shouldn't say hate. I don't hate everyone in government. I just think everyone's on the same collision course with our economy, with the frickin' spending in our country that nobody seems to want to get under control, and everyone wants to play games with. So, F them all. Adam Schiff's trending. Sounds like he may be in trouble. Breaking: U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro says she will personally be investigating Adam Schiff. I think you know that this is my wheelhouse. The difference between me and some others is that I don't talk about what I'm investigating. Absolute mic drop. But Adam Schiff says Donald Trump is terrified of losing his majority in the midterms. His solution: demand Republicans in Texas redraw the lines. If their partisan redistricting succeeds, California must respond, and we will. Yeah, whatever. By the way, for people saying, oh, Adam Schiff got pardoned in the past, Data Republican has pointed out Adam Schiff's pardon is for any offenses related to the activities or subject matter of the Select Committee to investigate January 6th. Schiff is not protected against Russiagate-related offenses. And here it is. All of whom these presidential shall come greeting. Be it known that on this day, I, Joseph Rahim Biden, Jr., President of the United States, pursuant to my powers of the Article 2, Section 2, Clause 1 of the Constitution, have granted unto the members of Congress who served in the Select Committee to investigate the January 6th attack on the United States Capitol, Select Committee, the staff, and the Select Committee, and as provided by House Resolution 503, 117th Congress, and police officers from the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department or the U.S. Capitol Police who testified before the Select Committee, a full and unconditional pardon. A full and unconditional pardon for what? It doesn't even specify pardon for what? I'd never have seen this before. Oh, wait, here it is. For any and all offenses against the United States which they may have committed or taken part in arising from or in any manner related to the activities or subject matter of the Select Committee to investigate the January 6th attack on the United States Capitol. So it is specific to that, but so you're pardoning them for any way they may have broken the law during that committee. Wow. Whatever. But anyway, not for the Russiagate shit, though. Adam Schiff, sorry. Remember when Adam Schiff laughably claimed that he didn't know who the whistleblower was? This guy needs to be held accountable for his countless lies. Anyway, so yeah, Jeannie Pirro's going to go after Adam Schiff. Let's see. Daily Wire. Trump moves to end DC's third world lawlessness. Democrats lose it. I thought I had the archive version of this. Is this it? Oh, I guess I didn't. Okay. Yeah, is this going to be good for DC? Certainly the executive branch has the power to, well, I think it does, take over DC. I think that's written in the law. Oh, wait. Oh, the archive version is the same thing. Okay, that's why. Apparently, Daily Wire Plus archive versions are no longer. Let's see. Let me try this. Let's see. All right, here we go. Oh, by the way, they have this. They're putting all these, some National Guard and FBI agents helping the DC Police Department because, and also taking over the DC Police Department, right? And it's interesting because in this interview with CNN, this DC councilwoman says we have a lot of vacancies on the police force. Wait, what? On Tuesday's broadcast of CNN This Morning, DC City Councilwoman Christina Henderson stated that there are a lot of vacancies on the city's police force, but we have not cut those positions, and we certainly are needing to do more work in terms of recruitment and retention of our officers. But the National Guard is not law enforcement. Adding and filling vacancies on the Superior Court is a better deterrent than thousands of police officers and National Guards on a street, she says. Henderson said, well, we have over 3,100 sworn officers, and yes, the union leader is correct. We do have a lot of vacancies, but we have not cut those positions, and we're certainly needing to do more and work in terms of recruitment and retention of our officers. And then it repeats what it just said in the prior headline. So yeah, they're short on police officers. Do they need help? I don't know. Let's see. I had a couple other articles. I don't even know. I'm kind of out of time anyway. Let's see. Apparently, by the way, the Texas Democrats have returned to Austin, Texas, but then they walked out the next day. What is this? This is the Washington Post article that didn't work in archiving either. Anyway, here we go. Here it is. Watches Texas Democrats throw a tantrum and storm out before the redistricting vote. So they all returned to Texas for the vote, but then this happened. Oh, this is 5 hours long. I'm not doing that. Is there a shorter one? No, there's not. Anyway, Democrats in Texas State Senate walked off the floor Tuesday without preventing passage of a new congressional districts in that body. Democrats in the Texas House of Representatives fled the Democratic-controlled Democrat-controlled states like New York and Illinois in order to thwart a special session of the body to consider redistricting that could net Republicans multiple seats in the United States House of Representatives. The new congressional map passed by 19-2 vote after 9 Democratic state senators walked out, the Texas Tribune reported. The new map would place Democratic Representatives Henry Cuellar, Greg Cesar, Al Green, and Julie Johnson into districts that President Donald Trump won by at least 10% in the 2024 presidential election, according to an interactive map of the Texas Tribune's website. Republicans currently have 219 members of the House of Representatives compared to 212 Democrats with 4 vacancies. I think due to a couple deaths and whatnot. So anyway, it's a 5-hour long video. Nobody wants to watch that shit. So they walked out, but they didn't prevent the vote because there was a quorum. And so they passed this redistricting thing, which I still think it's a bad idea, because now all the Democrat states are going to do it too. And they have no problem, like, seriously gerrymandering. Like, look at some of those Democrat states that are severely gerrymandered already. I do think it's funny, though, that the governor of Massachusetts, we talked about this before, the governor of Massachusetts warned Texas that if they redistrict and made it so there's more Republican representation from Texas, that Massachusetts would have to follow suit and do some redistricting. Except that Massachusetts doesn't have any Republican representatives representing the state. So she's an idiot. All right, guys, that's got to be it. Sorry about the discombobulated feel of the show, but hey, is that new? Not really. Okay. Thanks for letting me know that. All right, that's it. I'm going to drop the links in the chat. There's a lot of great links in the aggregator today. You can check out Ace of Spades. It's in there somewhere. Here are today's links. That is it. I got to go. See you tomorrow. My name's PDawgKnight, and I am out of here. Bye-bye. This is PDawgKnight, and thanks for watching today on the PDawgKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cashapp, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.